Hey friends, Randy Flickinger here again with another story I got to share. This one comes from my church. In fact, the credit to this story goes straight away to God and Pastor Jonathan Hoover at the New Spring Church in Wichita, Kansas. He doesn't know I'm sharing this, but I want him to get credit because he's the one that shared this story as part of one of his messages. And he does a fantastic job, and this is a tremendous story. There was a man, a big guy, big, strong, probably athletic background, and his family that were in the shopping mall. And they were up on a level, and they needed to go down to the lower level to go look at a shop or two that his kids wanted to look at some tennis shoes or whatever the case may be. And to do that, his family all wanted to take the escalator. Now, I know there are people out there who ride up and down escalators all the time, don't give it a thought. I've rode on tons of them. I don't really give it a whole lot of thought. I just want to make sure I get on right without falling down or having my foot slip. But bottom line is, a lot of people do it, no problem. But there are those out there, and maybe you're one of them, who are scared to death of those things. In this case, this big, burly, former athlete-looking guy was scared. He didn't want to do it. Now, he could go take the stairs. He could take an elevator and go down, but then he would be separated from his family. He'd have to leave them. And on top of that, and this is a bigger problem for guys maybe than gals, he knew he would look weak. He would look scared to his kids and his wife, and he didn't want to do that. So he'd try and he would step a foot and then he would pull it back. And then he would sit and he would step his foot out again and he would pull back. By now, of course, his wife and kids are headed down and they're starting to realize Dad's scared. And this is exactly what he didn't want. Well, out of the blue, up walks a lady. Now, again, this is a mall, and she walked up and she said, young man, she's a little older, she said, young man, she said, it looks like you're having trouble with this escalator. And he said, well, I think I can do it. He said, but I'm kind of scared. He said, I guess I can tell you, and she said, sure. She said, you know what? Would you like some help going down this escalator? Yes, I would, actually. I don't want to look scared and weak to my kids and my wife. She said, here's what you do. You stand with me. Hold on to my arm. We're going to hold on to each other. And you look up. You don't look down at these steps. You just hold on to me, step forward, and hang on. Just cling to me, and I'll get you down this escalator. Are you ready? Okay. Yeah, let's do it. I got to do it. I don't want my kids to be embarrassed here. My wife already, has got to be thinking, wow, what happened to my husband? So he holds on to her arm. She says, ready? We're going to step on 3. 1, 2, 3, and they step forward. And he feels the step move, but she says, pull your other foot up. And so he does. And she says, don't look down. Just look up and hang on to me. Just cling to me. I got you. And sure enough, he gets down, goes down the whole escalator with this lady. She helps him get down there to his wife and kids who are cheering for their dad because they're proud of him. Because it's tough to overcome things that we're scared of. You know what? It's the same thing with God. You and I reach all kinds of things in life that we get scared. I'm going through some health issues now. I won't get into details about it, but bottom line is they're checking some stuff out on me because there's some things that aren't right. And I know people who've battled cancer. I know people who have lost their job. I know people who have felt like they needed to change jobs. I know people who have wanted to make friends but had a difficult time. I know people who are in relationships that they recognize are either good or bad, and they need to have the courage to get out. All of it. And there's so many other things. Financial challenges. How am I going to pay this off? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. But the bottom line is, you have to take the first step. Just like this guy in the elevator. or escalator, not elevator, on the escalator, you have to take the first step, and that first step is to cling to God. Just like that lady and that guy on that escalator, if you and I will keep our eyes up, not look down, not look at our circumstances and think, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? How am I going to survive? What's going to happen? I can't do this. I can't pay for this. I can't take this anymore. You can, if you need to, by looking up, clinging to Him. He will get you through whatever the escalator is that's come into your life. If you trust Him, if you have faith in Him, if you will hold on to Him and keep your eyes towards Him. Don't look at your problems. Look at Him, because He has handled it. He knew the problem that you're dealing with was coming. It's not a surprise to Him. God's not up there right now going, oh my gosh, what am I going to do for Flickinger? I never expected this to happen. Are you kidding? He knows every bit of it. But He wants me and He wants you to cling to Him. Trust Him. Keep your eyes on Him. If you and I will do that, He's going to get us through whatever it is that the escalator challenge is for you in your life. Does it mean it will go the way you want it to? Not always. Does it mean you'll love how it turns out? Not always. But does it mean that you have somebody with you that you can trust, who has your best interests at heart, and who will take care of you if you'll just trust Him, cling to Him, and look to Him for that help? Yes, you have that. Thanks for listening, guys. Again, share this, save this, repost it, comment. I love hearing from you. And thank you, Pastor Jonathan, for the great message. I've used this message already with my daughter and others, and so it's a great message to get us through the escalators of life. Thanks for listening, guys. Bye-bye.